I just love that the industry is opening up to the fact that your skin is your largest detoxifying organ. Why would you ever rub a trace element of toxins onto that organ, disrupting that process? You could say anything's all natural fragrance, but that fragrance part you gotta watch out for. There's just a big misconception led by deception, I believe. All you need is the zinc, and then also barriers like clays. Long story short, be mindful of the ingredients that you're putting on before you go out in the sun. You don't need something that smells incredible and spreads perfectly and that you're spraying all around. Please check your ingredients.
Hey Fit Mothers, it's Dr. Balduzzi. Welcome to a very special episode here on the channel. We normally publish our Fit Mother podcast in audio only format, but as you can see, we have a very special guest here today, Hnilo from Alitura Naturals. And I wanted to bring this episode here because Andy is an expert in skincare, in beauty, in health and fitness. And today we're gonna do a deep dive into the products you should be putting onto your skin for good health and beauty, especially if you're experiencing wrinkles and mottled skin and stuff that you're not happy. Andy has a really powerful story we're gonna get into on how he's fixed this and developed some of the greatest products in the world for women who wanna look beautiful and really feel beautiful as well. So Andy, welcome to the podcast, bro.
Thank you so much for having me.
So how did you get into skincare? I imagine this was not like what you wanted to do when you grew up.
No, so it actually starts off in college, right? I was an athlete, 6'2", 168. I got a baseball scholarship to UC Berkeley. So I had to bulk up to play in, the Pac-10. Now it's like Pac-12, or I forget how many teams they have in it, but I wanted to compete at a high level, so I had to put on muscle, right? So I was focused on grabbing and turning and focusing in on fat, calories, protein. Put on 23 pounds, but I was eating Marie Callender's berry cobbler, Dreyer's, ice cream, pizza, Burger King, and then experimenting with supplements in my skin, dorm food, a little bit of stress in my, growing into your body. That was just like this perfect storm for cystic acne on my skin and the worst back acne that just crippling back acne to the point where I was changing with my locker. I would never turn around and stuff like that really just, it can eat away at you and really make you insecure. So that was the catalyst. One day off in Berkeley, I went to this little herbalist right off Shattuck Avenue and bought my first aqueous silica horsetail extract supplement from Flora. I think they're still around. But this gentleman explained the importance of well, what are you eating? How are you? And I was just telling him, and he's like, well, your skin, your overall vitality, you got to look at everything that you're eating and consuming ingredient-wise. So what about your products? And Neutrogena, Clearasil, these big heavily marketed brands that I just, that's all you know at that age. Mm-hmm. So I switched from Neutrogena, Clearasil to something simpler, Dove soap. 5 ingredients, 2 of them coconut-derived surfactants. So that right there, at 18 years old, just went bing, natural. And ever since there, year after year, I went from dorm food, over to the little salad bar and, started eating tuna with lettuce, cantaloupe, instead of the, soft serve cheeseburgers and all that. And teammates are wearing me out, but some of those guys would go, hey, well, what are you doing? And writing up diet plans. So all this started in college, but from the skincare standpoint, I just switching from the small little mosquito bites on your face with cystic acne, having that go away. From head to toe, with the exception of my hair, I was just using Dove bar soap, 5 ingredients. Just how simple is that? But that right there, the natural component of having those coconut-derived surfactants, and then backing that up with they had a night cream. I was 19 years old, again, as an athlete, so I was getting worn out by teammates, but I just liked feeling good, and I liked, treating people well. And I think that's a catalyst, is if you truly feel good about yourself and you don't have those insecurities, and it just really helped me set the tone on my personal care and just being the catalyst before you leave the door each day, and just energetically, personally and professionally treating people better, because I don't have that cloud of insecurity over me. And it was just a big part of what built me into who I am. Keep in mind, this is 24 years ago. And it just, so I had this little thing. I became an actor after baseball and just had this little routine. Every Sunday night before a week of auditions, I would do this Aztec healing clay. clay mask, right? One ingredient, calcium bentonite clay. And just, it was my little secret weapon for years. But I'm like, if this is one ingredient, let's just try to source it around. Let's see what we can do. It was just, I fell in love with calcium bentonite clay, right? So one day, just searching, trying to source that one ingredient, I found greenclays.net, a guy named Jason Eaton, who's written books on clays. I hopped on the phone with him. He gave me like this, totally put me to school on the benefits of internal cleansing with edible clays. And then also the clays that are better known for skincare, Rasul, kaolin, eyelite, French eyelite, Montmorillonite, Moroccan Rasul. And so I would order all of them, right? And then just kind of combine. Keep in mind I had roommates, right? And so all this stuff was underneath the sink, and I'd go in there, mix it in a bowl real quick, and just run into my room, let it dry, shower it off. They probably knew what was going on, but like clays, so, I mean, that's the earth rich in trace minerals. And when it dries, it brings the microcirculation to the surface of the skin. Then you get a subtle exfoliation. You're also removing impurities, heavy metals, environmental pollutants. Aside from that microcirculation kind of brightens your skin and lifts the skin, gets those stagnant capillaries circulated around the eye area. And it has so many benefits. That's why, but it's just fun to look back, because in ancestral alchemy, that's what they did. Animals, when they get sick, they roll around in the mud and lay out in the sun. They feel, just all these little remedies. Just became fascinating to me in doing DIY stuff. Before 2011, March 20, 2011, I was crossing the street, got hit by a westbound heading Land Rover, hit into the eastbound lane, run over by a Tundra, clothes cut off me in the middle of the street. Yeah, compound fracture, 7 broken ribs, collapsed lung, woke up in a morphine drip in Cedars-Sinai ICU. Just, you're coming in and out, just what's going on? They're like, no, don't talk, because they want to piece the particles back together. I'm like, what happened? You got hit and run over by 2 cars last night. And wow. That first look in the mirror, because I was in the entertainment industry, I know it's kind of a funny career, but it was how I made my money, and that was jolting. But my knees, ankles, shoulders were intact. Mom and dad flew down. My sisters and brother flew down. After I got out of the hospital, this one was like an ex-Marine. He's like, hey, any day you can walk out of the hospital, it's a pretty good day. Best of luck on your road to recovery. And I'm like, I already had that little weird kind of excitement. I don't know if it was like fight or flight from the trauma release or something from that, the severity of the accident, but I love what he said there, because it really set the tone. I mean, I started going on little walks, when my parents left. There was so much love in that little 660 square foot apartment. But my jaw was wired shut. And my only job was to take my medication and basically fall back asleep. But I loved having them there. It's just so rare that we're all in one area. My sisters have their families, but we're all there, and I needed that. But I, put together a plan as soon as they left. All right, when the sun's down, so the sun doesn't bake the scar in it, I go on little walks to get circulation from head to toe. And then at night, I'd put on that clay mask, right? All right, jaws wired shut. So, all right, how do I build my system back? How am I going to get nutrition? I'm not going to keep drinking these Ensure shakes. So I met with different herbalists around LA. I go to Air One. I went to Dragon Herbs, George Lamoureux, Crosby Ware, Truth Calkin, Sage Dammers, bless your hearts, because I was taking notes, jaw wired shut, talking like this, trying to figure out how to build my system back. And they explained the importance of adaptogenic herbs, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic herbs. And I put together this morning tonic, Gynostemma, Hoshiwu, Shizandra, ashwagandha, spirulina, chaga reishi, egg yolks, bison liver, blended it up in a shake, and then took it through like this little straw in the back of my mouth. But I mean, dude, it was, I stayed consistent with it. I felt incredible about a week or two. It was a little jolting for the system in the beginning, but I believed in the process, and I started to feel good very quickly. But I started to experiment with some of those ingredients from the smoothie. Yeah. Let's sprinkle some into that mask. Why not? If your skin being your largest organ, if it's that good internally, why not? A lot of things didn't work. But that's where we got the American ginseng, freshwater pearl powder, grass-fed colostrum, vitamin C, organic kelp powder, which is essentially spirulina. And so this true story of just trying to get back in the entertainment industry and look and feel like myself again. led to Alitura and just where we're at. I mean, it's such a long story made short is I troubleshooted Dave Asprey's email address from Bulletproof Coffee. Just wanted to work for Bulletproof, or just like share the love and that I really appreciate his, attention to detail with ingredients, single heirloom cacao pods, and with this chocolate powder, ghee, MCT oil. Like back then, 2014, it was coconut oil, but he was talking about medium chain triglycerides, the extract of that's the most healthy part of it. I just loved his podcast and what he was about. I never drank coffee before, so like getting out of bed was like hopping into a Ferrari for your day. And in my recovery, I needed that. So went D.Asprey, Bulletproof exec, Dave.Asprey, like 10 different combinations of the same email. Picture me in the ICU, picture me in like Men's Health going, dude, you got me. Your products got me back to my career. Thank you so much. If there's, any opportunity to be an ambassador for your company or whatever. His EA got back to me a few months later. They had me on his podcast talking about how I recovered with his products, which is true. Last 15 minutes, he asked what I did for my skin, and I'm like, luckily, because we hadn't talked about it beforehand, had no website up, no name for a company, or I don't think we had one back then. Maybe we were throwing things back around, but like, it was never intended to be a business. It was just kind of like my own little side project. And he got such a response from that podcast, so did I. Like, he flew down to LA, we came to terms on an agreement, and then boom, had a product in his store, the Alitura Clay Mask, 3 months later. And that's just how this all started. So we haven't stopped. I feel like that was yesterday. I'm not kidding. That was 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I just love that the industry is opening up to the fact that your skin is your largest detoxifying organ. Yeah. Why would you ever rub a trace element of toxins onto that organ, disrupting that process, causing that, what I firmly believe is that disruption. That's what I know I'm not a doctor, and I have these little weird quirky opinions, but it makes sense. I mean, we have a 0.77 return rate. These are pretty much damn near food grade products. I do my best to use food grade ingredients from top to bottom. I want you to grab it, turn it around, and have it look like poetry to you. You can with all of these products and all my 7 different chemists located all around the country. It's just, this is my thing. Manufacturing, get an opportunity to create something, an emulsion. It's just, we're a smaller team, but man, I just really love what I do, and I love that the world is kind of inching away. Now, Anthony, keep in mind those first 5 years, does organic matter, natural? It's all natural. Yeah. Dude, you could say anything's all natural fragrance, but that fragrance part you got to watch out for. There's just a big misconception led by deception, I believe. And it's just up to us, Anne Reggiani, May Lindstrom, that always will give them credit because they were doing it right before me. And but it's a short list. I can only name a couple, seriously, that are doing it right from top to bottom, locking in on all components from their packaging to how they treat people, but with dynamic, clean formulas that are effective and that you can use, without worrying about any trace element of toxins on something you're doing daily. You just got to be mindful of that.
Dude, wow, powerful. Yeah. I mean, I just am looking at your life from the lens you just shared as like a creative expression of your struggles, your insecurity, your athletic desires, your natural creative impulse, your ability to get out there. And now this is an extension of your whole life and these incredible products. And where I want to go is really pick Andy's brain on foods to eat, how he actually approaches his skincare, because bro, your skin looks fantastic. If people can't see the zoom in, but let's punch in on this, man. I mean, it's the real deal. I mean, results don't lie in this space. Okay, so you have a process and a framework that I've seen you talk about how you approach skincare with 4 steps. Can you lay that out for us so people can get a grasp of like the different categories of things, and then we'll talk about products and ways people can approach each.
Absolutely. So I know you can have 20 to 30 SKUs as a business, and you can, well, when do I use, what do I use? We kind of went that way, but just recently, in the past couple years, we came up with a system, just cleanse, exfoliate, hydrate, repair, right?
Cleanse, exfoliate, hydrate, repair.
Exactly. Cleanse, daily, maybe, if you have overly oily skin, maybe and you want to dial that down in the morning, and then maybe dial it down before you go to bed, just cleanse. Sometimes, some people do it one time a day, but just don't overly do it, but just a nice cleanse. Finish with a cold rinse to close the pores, follow with a good clean moisturizer, reapply if needed, right? And then you can exfoliate 1 to 3 times a week to scrub off dead skin cells, to rejuvenate, that nice cell turnover. Ideally, it has some good active ingredients that can kind of accelerate the collagen synthesis after that. But just in a good exfoliation, I think to the people out there that have done it, it feels great. You're scrubbing off the dead skin cells that may contain some environmental pollutants, so there also is a component to that. And then just 1 to 3 times a week, take a day off. It could only be once a week, that's fine. And then ideally I know these are all steps that, it's a lot to some people, but I like to seal in the results and in the most important time to do so before you go to bed, when you're in one position for hours, right? Just with like a nice nutrient dense, thicker night cream. And then that's it. Just cleanse, exfoliate, hydrate, repair. Exfoliate a couple times a week, but just, cleanse, exfoliate, hydrate, repair.
I was really interested in your story in the clay mask. I mean, that was such a pivotal moment of your experimentation, and also something I can see has so many benefits. Like, I was like, man, I should probably start doing Andy's clay mask regularly. Where does that fall into the steps? Is that an exfoliator? Is it how does that work?
It's an exfoliator.
Okay.
It definitely is. So we have, not trying to sell the product, but we have a meteorite scrub and a clay mask. So I get a little dynamic with that. I'll put on the clay mask, and then in the shower, rinse it lightly off with water, and then rinse it again to that freshly exfoliated skin with the meteorite scrub. That's a treatment. That's you only want to do that a couple times a week, but basically you're getting all that circulation to the surface of the skin. The clay mask has a light exfoliating effect as it is when it completely dries and the capillaries constrict, but then you get the rounded exfoliants from the meteorite scrub, olive, cherry pit, California poppy seed, just to gently exfoliate the dead skin cells, and then you let the alpha hydroxy acids, we're using mandelic, fulvic acid, hyaluronic acid, just to completely hit that new freshly exfoliated skin with invigorating ingredients to help, thicken that collagen layer over time.
What I think is interesting is some of those things you just rifled off, humic and fulvic acids, or at least fulvic acids, alpha hydroxy acids. These are things people may or may not know about. There are synthetic versions of all this stuff that people may have in their skincare right now. Can you talk about some of the ingredients in standard fare stuff you get at Walgreens, CVS, that claims to be a cleanser, claims to be a moisturizer, and maybe has that function, but a lot of BS in there? What are the things people should look out for? And then I want to educate people on natural ways that they can get these things in.
Absolutely. So they have an app now called the Yuka app, or YUKA app. You can scan it, the UPC code, and get a 0 to 100 rating on the cleanliness of your product. So I wanted that to just be out there first and foremost, because I don't expect everyone to be an expert in ingredients. But you'll see it's water, glycerin, cetyl alcohol, butylene glycol, propylene glycol. All these fillers and unnecessary emulsifying agents and toxic surfactants that you can find. We all, as chemists, you get the red to green rating on how safe it is for the skin. And I even question that rating system. But a lot of these companies, 90% or above, are signing off on orange to red. Sodium benzoate, benzoic acid. How shelf stable do you need a product? 3 or 4 years? You're having 3 or 4 different forms of preservatives, right? Phenoxyethanol, potassium sorbate, I just mentioned sodium benzoate, sodium laureth sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate. One's a foaming agent. We just did a video this morning with our Pearl Cleanser. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone, shaving and cleansing. A lot of these unnecessary foaming agents, and the fragrance, I believe, is one of the biggest culprits. Yellow 5, yellow 6, blue 1 has been proven to have birth defects over time. The glycerin, always in the top 3. Is it soy-based? Most likely. We're using organic sunflower base. It's just there are ways to take every component of your product. And just, I really hope this world gets to that point where it becomes cool to be like, just have those ingredient decks that you're proud to use on your largest organ, that you know you're not absorbing any of those. You know, 3 or 4 different forms of alcohol in your formula. Definitely not organic, cetearyl, I could keep going and going just on the unnecessary additives that are often toxic in the commonly used, heavily marketed products at your favorite grocery store. It's everything I'm against, but I'm really glad that I believe the world is kind of leaning towards, all right, let me figure out what I'm actually eating. Yes. Let me figure out what's in my hair care. That's all, I mean, I get it, it's a sensory appeal. You want that foaming, you feel like you're cleansing. A bath is like, remember, it's like the little emoji. You're taking a bath with the bubbles. That's a toxic, the bath bombs. I mean, I could keep going on that, but like the fragrance, you get such a beautiful aroma through organic essential oils. Explain why you left that toxic fragrance out. It's such an opportunity for brands to make a big change, you know? Especially fragrance like Calvin Klein, go gluten-free, organic alcohol. You know how much you would impress your customers? I just have this theory that combined with the synthetic fragrances lead to a lot. I mean, you know those people, I'm sorry, I can't do fragrance. Do you know how many hundreds of people have said that to us in booths that use our Alitura presence? Because we have 3 ingredients: organic alcohol, a synthetic fragrant blend, but we left out the phthalates, the parabens, the mineral oil, any dyes, any endocrine disruptors. We just got it approved by EWG, and I am hungry to just spread the word about what we've been about since second one with Alitura.
The new science is super clear. Mitochondria are essential for optimum health and longevity. See, mitochondria are the battery packs inside all of your cells that create ATP, giving you cellular energy. And as we age, our mitochondria become damaged and dysfunctional, leading to low energy, brain fog, fatigue, and slower recovery from exercise. The good news is, this supplement called MitoPure, created by Timeline Nutrition, can help, because it supports your health at a foundational level by encouraging the renewal of your mitochondria. MitoPure is a precise dose of a rare compound called urolithin A that helps your body clear out dysfunctional mitochondria to create new healthy ones, giving you more energy, better workouts, and more endurance to achieve any goals that you have. MitoPure is the only urolithin A supplement on the market that's clinically proven to target the effects of age-related decline and deliver increases in muscle strength and endurance without any change in exercise. I'm excited to share that you can now get 20% off your first Timeline purchase. There's never been a better time to experience the benefits of MitoPure. Use my code FITFAMILY at checkout to receive 20% off today. Dude, phenomenal. I think this is like next level for people. A lot of people are reading food ingredients. They don't want the stuff in their foods. And these bucket terms like natural flavors could mean basically anything. Fragrance can mean basically anything, these catch-all terms.
Yeah.
So getting to your products, what are some of your flagship products that you love? Like what makes you, let's start with cleanse in the framework. Like why is your cleanser so amazing? What's in it, and what can people expect if they try a natural based product versus maybe what they're using?
Yeah, no, great question. So I have very reactive skin. So I wanted something a little more gentle. I couldn't find one. I used Evan Healy's Blue Lavender Cleansing Milk, and it was this nice milk. So I wanted, I kind of use that as a benchmark. Shout out to Evan Healy out there. But that's where I got the pearl powder base. I wanted something that could kind of just gently heal my reactive skin. We combine that with colloidal silver, tremella mushroom, marshmallow root, to just gently but thoroughly cleanse your face without any harsh irritation. Has a nice little organic jasmine scent to it. Just completely cleanses the skin. It's our top 3 seller.
Pause there for a sec. What do I do with it? So I get the cleanser in my hands. Is my face already wet? Am I in the shower? Like really help me experience when I use this and what it looks like in my routine.
So warm up, steam up the face, open the pores with warm water, just a little rinse, and then boom, 2 to 3 pumps in your hand, massage in an upwards direction. Ideally behind the ears, get those lymph nodes.
Yes, you like lymphatic massage, you're a big believer. Okay, so explain that to people. It's a good pit stop.
Absolutely. I mean, lymphatic drain, this is another one. I'm glad because sometimes it's a little odd to people. But man, I take my tongue on the root or in front of my teeth, to open up those pathways. And I know I'm just glad you asked about it, but everything, during that massaging process, upwards, get the gravity, get the blood flowing upwards, out, and then just kind of massage right here, and just kind of sit for a little. It is a good little light leave-on mask if you have irritation. Let that colloidal silver and pearl powder and kaolin clay do its job. It just mitigates that irritation and can kind of tone down some discoloration. But if you're just doing a quick cleanse, leave on 5-10 seconds, do some nasal breathing, and then just rinse it off. Follow with the cold rinse to close the pores, and then boom, that's the cleanser. You can follow with the moisturizer or serum.
So moisturizing, what's the base of your moisturizing products? What are good natural products like yours having versus synthetic ones?
All right, so our gold serum, we're using organic Bulgarian rose water as our base. So we're not using water. We add bee propolis, a little frankincense, sandalwood. We have 5 active ingredients in that formula. Plant-derived vitamin A that we source from France. It's organic alfalfa derived, has similar benefits to retinol and retinoids without the sun sensitivity or downtime commonly affiliated with retinoids. Marine collagen, copper peptide, astaxanthin, and CoQ10. Those are the 5 active ingredients that I supplement with. If it's that good internally.
If that was like a oral supplement, people would really benefit from that.
Way it should be. It's the way it should be. Rose oil, a little neroli. That's our top seller. The gold serum. No, it's just
gold serum moisturizer.
Yeah, it's a very special product to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then I'm exfoliating a couple times a week using clay mask or the meteorite base powder.
Meteorite scrub, clay mask. So the clay mask has 4 clays: kaolin, French highlight, calcium bentonite, and Moroccan raw soul clay. First 4-hour milking grass-fed colostrum. We're the only known source that has this collected within the first 4 hours. They did this little chart recently. A lot of companies are using stock colostrum. The nutrient density goes down to like 2%. After 6 hours, anything after 6 hours gets cut completely in half. Our 4 is up like really high. And so that's gotta be some of the secret sauce. I liked it at the time when it was 6, and then they dialed it down to 4. Or just our source did. I didn't, obviously had nothing to do with me, but like that. Yeah, so the grass-fed, first 4-hour milking grass-fed colostrum, 10% ascorbic acid, organic kelp powder.
Vitamin C, by the way.
Yeah, a potent form of vitamin C that I supplement with as well. Adds brightening. It's a master antioxidant, incredible for the skin. Organic kelp powder, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, B12, sodium alginate, like a rich, just nutrient-dense antioxidant for the skin. American ginseng, that was kind of my little touch that you don't see it too often in skincare products, but I love it. It's one of the most popular adaptogens used in traditional Chinese medicine for overall vitality. And then freshwater pearl powder. The geishas have been using it for centuries to kind of just keep an even skin tone, loaded in trace minerals, calcium. If it's that, it's a kidney and liver tonic. But it is, it's expensive, but it's one of my favorite ingredients. I would say either that or propolis overall for skincare. Aloe vera is a close third. But so yeah, pearl powder is going to be in every one of our products, and pretty much is. But yeah, so that's the clay mask right there.
Well, I want to pause on a sec because I think that was really interesting you said. So the pearl powder, one of your favorite ingredients. Propolis, one of your favorite ingredients. Aloe vera. Let's talk about the other 2. Maybe start with aloe vera. If someone got a skin burn, is aloe vera where you'd go to, and like how do you incorporate that? Why is that so great, and what are the use cases of it? The
polysaccharides. So with aloe vera, now the thing is you don't want to go buy the gel. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
And but if you have the opportunity to go to like Whole Foods and they have an aloe vera plant, or if they sell the leaves, which a lot of Whole Foods do, just cut off the bottom. That ooze, that it's usually orange if it's been, it's freshly picked, but that is like gold for open wounds, cuts, healing internally as well. I mean, I throw it in my smoothie. I cut out the clear inner part and put it in my smoothies. Nice. I shave with it, so you cut out the clear inner part, but you still have the leaf, and then you rub the leaf around, put it in your hair. Aloe vera is very dynamic and has many uses and health benefits.
And propolis, what is this in relation to honey and bees and the environment? Like, define what it is and like how do we use it?
So Propolis is like the combination of honey, the beeswax, the pollen, the royal jelly. It's like all of it. It's like full spectrum, like
full spectrum bee products, all of it.
Yeah, basically. And I just, if you look at our products, that's what I had to have as my base, like with the exception to the Pearl Cleanser. But we found a family in Hnilo, Hawaii, when I was trying to find a moisturizer manufacturer, because everybody was asking in the initial stages, what do I follow with as a moisturizer? What do you use? And I was doing my DIY, beeswax, cacao. So I'm like, you don't want people, I was sharing that with them, but like, how are they going to do it? I had my little remedies I was using for years, but I called this family out in Hnilo, Hawaii, and heard my video playing in the background, because back then we had it on autoplay. And so they got an idea pretty quickly of like my story, and maybe that's why they took me seriously. You'd have to ask them, but I've been with them since 2014, 11 years. They're family, friends. All of my chemists are, because my formulas are different. Like if you go into these, the buildings, like we have our own sections because they're all customer supplied ingredients. Because that's the part where you got to meet them face to face, is just because this is like my art, like we didn't have a business plan. I don't have a big board telling me what to do. This is creation. Yeah. This is artistry, like ancestral alchemy to a different level. We get an opportunity to not only tell a story about like what you're interested in with like, frankincense, myrrh, rose oil, clary sage. I could keep going on that for a while, but I won't. But like, just documenting the process of not listening. 3 manufacturers I went to before I met the family, over the phone. And I remember this guy telling me, it's like baking a cake, right? You got your water glycerin. No, I was like, I'm not. I kind of wanted to go, like a bee product base. He said, we got beeswax. But there was no like, bless his heart, but I didn't feel the sincerity there at all. And then there were 2 more of those. And I'm like, what is this? So, I connected with some really good people that are aligned with me in my mission to just like, look, this is not going to be sped up. Things may come to me later down the road, like the meteorite scrub was 6 years to make. The formula was done 4 years, but then we spent 2 years on packaging. And I wanted a sugarcane tube. Turned out there was trace plastics in that tube, so we just went back to maroon glass that we could have done 2 years before. But it's not supposed to be sped, just me. Like I'm not trying to be like another brand. We don't have any sped up. I don't have a price determined before I go into it. It's just, I get like these little downloads, satellite, whatever you want to call it, to create every one of these products. But it's the most important part is having a chemist and manufacturer that you trust to duplicate that dream. And I found them, luckily. And
That's beautiful, bro. I think like all of that, like the specs of how it's set up, but it's like the integrity and the authenticity of you interwoven into all of this. It's immense. It's a good lesson in creation and us being very choosy about what we put in our bodies, choosy about what we put on our skins. And I want to kind of transition to food, because like that's a huge part of your journey as well. You're deep into the nutrition game. You keep yourself in great physical condition. And there's obviously some foods, we can start with the ones that you think like are inflaming a ton of people. We don't have to spend a ton of time there, but what are the heavy hitters that can totally ruin people's skin in terms of stuff? Let's start there.
Processed foods.
Like?
I would say deep fried, the fish and chips, fried foods, refined sugar, grains. In my opinion, unorganic dairy, you know what I mean? I think that kind of barks at the system. Peanuts, nuts that can, have a tendency to have been on shelves for a little bit, more susceptible to mycotoxins. Paying attention to everything that the water you're drinking, right? The shower you're wearing, or the water you're wearing in your shower. Do you have a filter? Get a shower filter. Yeah. Ideally, get a whole home filter. Yeah. And just structure your water. That's a big culprit. Staying away from, the sugary alcoholic drinks. That just really sets your system into overdrive, into kind of putting out inflammatory fires internally. Just get as clean and as ideally locally sourced as you can. Now, I live in Sedona, Arizona. We have a farmer's market. I also have a relationship with a couple. Farmmatch.com is amazing. I get my raw dairy from there. Taking care of your gut, kimchi, kefir. I like raw milk personally. My water, I like Gerolsteiner, or I drink my mineral water out of glass. Whole Foods has one, a really good Italian spring water for $2.79. That's 33 ounces. Take out a few of those a day. It's under $10, but you're completely hydrated and mineralized. If you go Gerolsteiner, a high source of bicarbonate, which really helps. I mean, it's like baking soda, which they're finding out, I'm sure you know, is really good for the system and your blood and internal cleansing. So if we can combine those elements, drink good clean water, eat good nutrient dense foods, get your good amount of protein in, maybe supplement with some grass-fed collagen, colostrum if you can. I know these things are expensive, but like you're worth it. And just staying in the sauna is a big one. Sauna, cold plunge, but mindfully cold plunge. If you want to do that like hot, cold, what I do is I'll go to the sauna 20 minutes literally every day. Really? I know some people say 3 to 5, but it's my therapy, dude. And then just follow with a cold shower, and it kind of shocks the system in the best way. I'll hang upside down an inversion table, get the blood flowing the other way, usually with the clay mask on. Like it's a lot, but with the red light in the background, red light in the background, red light in the front. I have this system and this routine where I get predictable energy every day. Yeah. So like I look around, I think I'm preaching to the choir, but there are these things, man, these mechanisms that have changed my life. Breath work. And so I know this is focused on diet, but I kind of segued into a lot of other things, but man, it's a lot, and I'm constantly still learning of other things to either check off on. Yes, it's good for me. Yes, it serves my system, but I have fine tuning this over the past 20 years. I kind of know what my body likes.
You know what your body likes, and I think that's each of our health responsibility to figure out like what's good for your body. Dairy inflames me. But also I would not say that like raw milk is not good for a lot of people. It could be massively beneficial, but you got to find what works right for you. Right. What's your thoughts on red light? You obviously say you like it and you incorporate it, but there's just so many devices out there. A lot of people are marketing this stuff, and like a lot of it is for skin health and skincare. Like, what's your kind of position statement on people using lights in relation to products, the importance of it, protocols, et cetera? Red and can be infrared too.
Yeah, so I use the Juve Solo. I have that on, laptop right here. That's hitting me. I mean, I'll throw on a clay mask and then I'll rinse that off. That's on for what? About an hour a day, cumulative. And I'll also put on the Kinnean red light right around my neck, strap it up to get those, the thyroid, and just help with, because of the jaw injury. But it's mitigated a little swelling over there. Like it's sunk in ever since I started doing that. There's something about the Kinnean, Kineon, red light that I like around the neck. And so it's meant for pain, but red light in particular, maybe I'm sure you do know a little bit more about me, but I trust the system of far infrared, full spectrum red light. There's something about like the frequency that it emits. I don't know if it's like 980 or 830. Got to check that. But I have been using the Juve red light. It's one of those things that I know when I have. It just mitochondria. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll do 20 minutes sporadically throughout the day, all day, even before bed. And then combine that with at least 20 to 30 minutes of real sunlight. Light is so important to me, Anthony. And I also have one of those cellumas while I'm doing my breath work. I get the red light behind my head, getting that, the back of my brain. And then I also have the celluma, which a lot of med spas that we work with have. And I just figured, why not kill two birds with one stone? I'll put on the gold chair, do my breath work, and then next I'm getting a biomat to lay on. But I mean, but all in under 20 minutes, you just lay down. Now you have now you got your skin taken care of, you're invigorating your cells, and then you go out and get the real sunlight. But mindfully, you don't want to get burnt. But yeah, light in general it ignites me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
I see how you're like habit stacking this stuff into a very personalized routine. And I think that's probably a good lesson from everyone. Like find your way to get all these things combined together. A couple things. Talk to us about the sun. I think in the whole skincare space, this conversation has typically been sun, UV, photo aging, bad, put sunscreen on. And obviously that perspective is changing in a lot of ways, and you have your perspective on it. Lay us out, unfiltered. What do you think about the sun for skincare and skin aging? Do you use sunscreen? Let's talk about that.
I mean, Anthony, I have a product that I put a bow on called Alitura Sol, and Spanish for sun. And I literally did a post and I'm like, I just don't use it. How do I market that in the booth? But I'm going to release it eventually because people want the cleanest, and that everyone has different sun sensitivity, which I respect. I just there are a few, in my opinion, that work. I mean, it's zinc oxide. That's one. Titanium dioxide, in my opinion, please stay away. But man, when you get the big marketed brands, just please identify that with Yucca app and look at what you're applying to your largest organ and then getting baked in. I just think that's the biggest culprit to a lot of skin cancer and a lot of sun sensitivity is the sunscreen that we're putting on, that we're baking in. Those chemicals. It's just all you need is the zinc. That's and then also barriers like clays and pearl powder, and then being mindful of the sun, maybe go into the shade. Now look, I'm not, trying to stir up the pot, but at the same time, I kind of am. I completely disagree with these ingredient decks and them showing studies. And now luckily a lot of people are, pointing out the fact that a lot of these sunscreens, sunblocks are the culprit of a lot of skin cancer and sun damage, and it just has always made so much sense to me. These heavily, remember those like the coconut oil that you go out in the sun that's full of fragrance, it's mineral oil, so bad for you. I used to wear it, but let's be mindful of what we're putting on. I mean, I would, if it were me, and it is me all the time, I put on my gold serum and then follow with the body lotion. I'd know what's inside of it, and I believe in what it does, and it assists with the sun. The sun is my everything. I'm the wrong person to ask as far as sunscreen. I'm out in the sun all day long, but I'm also extremely mindful of pre and post care, and then my diet, and then it's not like I'm out there for 8 to 10 hours a day. There's something to be said though about astaxanthin. Some people are comfortable saying, I gotta be careful with my words as far as like their natural UV and sun protectant levels, but red raspberry seed, cacao butter, aloe vera, bee propolis, astaxanthin, manuka honey. There are these beautiful potions that we can create these little barriers and serve the skin while kind of combining, becoming a conductor with the sun. That's why we're adding gold. I could keep going on this for a while, but like I understand it's a confusing subject, but I'm glad that the world is kind of going, wait a minute, what about the sunscreen that we're being told to spray all over our body? You go out to that aerosol loaded in fragrance and other just often carcinogenic ingredients that do not serve the skin, and you do not want that combined with the rays coming from the sun. I just wish I was at a level to put these studies on, but we're gonna do a study. We have to get that quantifiable 30 SPF for our sunscreen. So maybe we'll go a little bit more on that. I just, like to practice what I preach, but if also there are a couple good sunscreens. To the people that want to wear sunscreen, completely understand it. We're just working on getting that white tint out of it. And we can do that through a little sea buckthorn, which is like this bright orange, and then astaxanthin's like this rich red, and then the light gold oils that we have in that formula, as well as NAD, copper peptide, and gold. We're going to create something special. But long story short, be mindful of the ingredients that you're putting on before you go out in the sun. And if it's a little white from the non-nano zinc or zinc oxide, whatever they're using, sometimes that's kind of part of it, but you don't need something that smells incredible and spreads perfectly and that you're spraying all around. Please check your ingredients.
Mm-hmm. That's been a resounding theme for sure. Now, as we wrap this up, I want to make it back to simple and practical. So let's say someone's inspired by this and they want to pick up a couple of your products, one or two, or a couple key takeaways in the most still impactful, but deconstructed routine? Like what's the simple takeaways that people can take away in terms of Alitura products to use or simple routines to implement?
So I would recommend the Pearl Cleanser, clay mask, and gold serum if you're just getting into kind of a routine. The clay mask is one of the most effective single-use treatments. It's a back bar treatment in hundreds of med spas worldwide. You just add filtered water, apple cider vinegar, your favorite essential oils, and just apply toothpaste-like consistency, let it dry, go outside, let the sun bake it in, take a shower, shoot me an email on how you feel afterwards, please. And then if you pick up the gold serum, follow that clay mask treatment with the gold serum. 2 to 3 pumps in your hand. That color that we got with the CoQ10 is like this also fiery orange, and then the astaxanthin's like this rich red. It kind of adds like a little glint. We had to dial it down. It looked like a sunrise for a little bit, but they're nature's elements. And then I just know what I'm getting every single time with those. And a lot of us have little issues and little, that little red spot. That clay mask will pull that infection out over time, exfoliate your skin, brighten it. And then that's the system right there. Pearl, clay, gold.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Absolutely love that. Yeah. Bro, I learned a lot. I'm inspired. I'm taking my skincare to the next level. I'm going to be using your products. I appreciate you coming on and inspiring me on many levels. Education about skin for sure. Your passion for creation and life. And I see where you're going as well. Like through this creation, hoping to steer this industry in a way that's guided by integrity, guided by science, and like understanding natural law and how we integrate this into products and like respecting nature and awareness. Like there's a lot of deep stuff happening here. I'm seeing it.
Thank you.
Bro, thanks so much. So for people who want to learn more, who want to check things out, we're probably going to have a discount code FITFAMILY. That's always a way you can go to alituraNaturals.com. Is that the right domain?
It's just alitura.com, okay. Alitura. It's Latin for feeding and nourishing, by the way. So your skin being your largest organ, you want to treat it like another mouth. So nice. I really appreciate you having me on, man.
This was amazing. You crushed it. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. Andy Hnilo. Wow, what an episode.
Hey there, my friend. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Fit Mother Project podcast. If you love what you heard, I have a favor to ask you. Please consider taking 60 seconds right now to leave us a rating and review on our podcast. Leaving us a review is super quick. It only takes a minute, and it's so helpful to us as it really boosts this podcast to reach more people who need this information and this message. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, you can leave us a star rating and review. If you're watching on YouTube, you can hit the like button and leave us a comment. Overall, I truly appreciate you being with us here on the podcast. On behalf of me and my entire Fit Mother Project team, we truly feel honored and grateful to support you and your family on your journey to fantastic health. I thank you for your support of this podcast and of this mission. Also, if you're interested in joining our complete Fit Mother program and becoming an official member of our community, you can visit our website, fitmotherproject.com. And on the Fit Mother site, you'll be able to see our complete Fit Mother program, along with our online store with the best supplements designed for busy moms. And you'll also find a ton of free resources like recipes, workouts, meal plans, and more. God bless you and your family. This is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi signing off. I'll catch you on the next episodes of the Fit Mother Project podcast.